Countdown?
4 minutes.
I gotta get my.
Why? Came out of nowhere like a ninja. Like a ninja.
I heard something brilliant the other day on Reddit, so I won't take credit for it, but I forget who just did it. So anyway, they said that ninjas never disappeared; they're just better.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That is nice.
So that's why I punch all the shadows before I go to bed now.
That's right. That's right. You better, man.
You don't take any chances.
You got to record that.
Yes.
I'll get you. Oh, they might be on the ceiling. Anyway.
Oh, I know. Then you hit him. Oh, that hurt. Oh shit! Just hear that? You hear the accent, bro? You're in trouble.
Be interesting though. You could hear, "Oi, mate, that hate." And it's like,
Oh,
yeah, I'm a ninja too. I can learn.
All right.
I did all the things and stuff. It's like go up the wall.
Up the wall. All right. All right.
You know where you can only crawl with just your fingertips and your toenails. Anyway, I'll go.
Hello there, Nick. Damn, did Dan get a new do?
Yes, thank you for calling it out, Nick.
Hey.
Yes, Nick said it's sexy AF.
Oh,
wow.
That's French toast. It's just like French toast.
You know what's weird, Nick, is ever since I got this, people keep asking me if I brew my own beer.
You know what? You look very hipster, like super irresponsible, and like, you know,
it's time to make beer.
Somebody's parents should pay my rent so I can start a startup. Yes. We're going to get you a venture capitalist, Dan.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
I would like a benefactor. Yes, thank you.
That's the haircut for it. What is it? What do they call it? Undercut?
I don't know. I go to the same place all the time down by my house because I prefer to go like a Latino barber shop, if you will, because I like the way they cut hair better. So usually they just cut it to the sides and I tell them, and then I usually put it back. All right. Well, this guy's like, I'm gonna do this, and it's like, all right, I'll try this. People like it. I don't know what it is, but it's weird to me because I like symmetry. Usually, I'm a weird dude like that. Like, you know.
Well, you know, the funny thing about that symmetry is like it creates a full picture. Like it makes the eyes hit the right places at the right times, creates dimension. I'm happy with it. I was asking you backstage, like, are you about to go through a life-changing event? Because when women cut their hair off, you know, it's going down. They're going to be setting some BMWs on fire and like going nuts. But you said you're all right.
Oh, I'm doing okay.
Yes,
well, I'm going to go on a late night show.
Yeah, when you guys' wives cut your hair off, cut her hair off. Yeah, whatever happened, y'all need to apologize. If you don't know what happened, apologize. You need to get flowers and start making up. Because
no, I had to cut my hair. I got too late. I didn't want to. It took too long to like just even like wash it, condition it, comb the bastard, and then be like, all right, I'm ready to go. You know.
Well, you should have called me, Steph, I would have gave you a weave. You wouldn't have to worry about it.
Oh, okay, okay.
I would have just cornrowed it down. You could have some purple locks.
Oh, that would have been dope. So get a lie, that would have been dope. Maybe I might let it grow now. Then they're gonna think I'm crazy.
Okay, well, you know where to find me. I will hook you up.
That would be dope. Oh man.
Yeah, I can't do anything that takes that much effort.
Have like purple locks. Oh my god, that'd be so amazing.
We'll do it up. We will
I'm down
for you, and then you don't have to worry about it. Just spray the scalp every once, massage it.
Oh, okay.
A little bit with ACV, apple cider vinegar, and let it rinse out. And
ooh, man, I'm gonna get kicked out the bed. You stink. Get out of the bed.
Every 8 weeks, you just take it out. You'll be like, I will never. I'm with it.
Oh man, that'd be crazy. No, yeah, that's the one thing that the responsibility and maintenance of it is what drove me nuts. Yeah. My kid was born, and then I was like, man, I got to take a shower. Man, this is taking too long. I got to get in, get out. You know, mama's got to get in, get out. Somebody, you know, and it was just.
see, like here's the thing: is none of this is meant to be hipster. It's just I'm lazy. Like this takes no effort. Like it took like one day go get this, and it's like, oh, I wake up in the morning, go, and then like,
is that mayonnaise in your hair? Like what?
Straight up blue cheese, straight up blue cheese. Like you know.
So mama's
that would
recipe.
be horrible.
No, wife said that,
it's not that. No, but right now I want to get something else because I don't have my usual pomade. So this is scary to me. Like, okay, here's the thing. Here's what I had to do. Like after I got this, because I wasn't used to combing it this way. There's a way you really can't comb it. if you're a white dude and you want to comb it from one side to the other. You can't let just enough hair fall in front where it sounds like you're about to yell to a large audience. You know what I'm saying?
Is that the Hitler look?
Yeah. So it's like you have to like really goop it if you're gonna do it. So it doesn't do that at all. You're like, none of it can fall and make me look like an angry Hitler.
Yeah. I always get that idea when I see those haircuts. I'm like, yeah, like y'all right on the edge. Just right on the skirting on that edge of like just genocide turns into fashion. That is so America. America is like, yes, this is nobody's rocking Hitler. Like you did that. You are Hitler.
Oh, that's horrible. That's so
but like that's like what we do. Like, isn't because Dan is telling the truth. His hairstyle is a functional hairstyle. Stefan, yours is functional. But a lot of people get their hair done to appear as if they actually are something that they're not. Like the lumberjack hair, like beards, nobody knows how to chop wood, but they're walking around with flannel and a lumberjack beard. I am wearing flannel because I'm about to take a headshot to be a mom for commercial headshots.
There you go.
Yeah, but like, legitimately these hairstyles, they're like, okay, I don't do anything with my life, but I want to appear edgy and dangerous. Hitler. I think it's been long. Yeah, so I agree. Like,
let's see, Bobby.
Correct. As long as you don't have the mustache, it's okay. That is correct. And like Dan said, comb it back. Do not go the full. You are not ready for that battle because you will receive it in full. I will dish it out myself.
So yeah, mine is like to the back mostly, like, but it has to go outside because that's the way he cut it. Like one side is longer than the other. I'm like, so I kind of have to do it. So it's like, okay,
it looks great.
It takes care. And then the beard thing, I was like, well, if I don't like, it keeps getting my cereal. So no, just kidding. No,
we want to say we want to do a shout out also.
Down then.
Hello, Nick. We also have a Bobby out there, and we have Lauren out there. Hello, and everybody else.
Bobby, Lauren.
Leave a comment down in the comment box. We'd like to talk to all of you. Hello, William. How you doing?
William said, "Braid that beard."
That's right, braid
that beard.
Yes. So welcome everybody. And then Bobby had a question. Are you on Zoom? No, sir. We are on StreamYard.
We are live.
But we are live. You can watch us on YouTube, twitch.tv, and
right here where you're watching.
Right here where you're watching on Facebook, and we're also on Periscope. So any of the four that you prefer, if you're my friend on Facebook, you can watch it on my wall. So I mean, any of the five locations will work. Thank you for asking.
You can also watch it on Displaced Comedians because I put it there. Let's see if people watch from there too. Yes, maybe. It looks like. Oh no. Okay.
But if you're a comedian, Bobby, and you'd like to get on the show, hit us up in our email at therapyoftheabsurd@gmail.com. Make sure you include all your information and your headshot, and we can discuss that there if you're trying to get on the podcast. Because if you're a comedian, we'd love to have you. And yes, William Davis, braid that beard. Yes, so maybe we should get you some of those purple locks in your beard, Dan.
On the beard. But see, here's the thing. Like
Glad
right
to
now,
see you
Dan,
join us again, William.
You look like you would go to dinner anywhere fancy in LA because even though the beard is wild, like that hair looks like, style, like something. He's involved in something. If I put locks in your beard, you officially are like, you're going to be in the circus. Like, that's just
be a pirate. Arr.
Sorry.
I do like death metal. So
yeah. See, I was still seeing purple locks. You know what? Hair colored locks. You're right. You could totally do death metal. Okay. Well, let me know.
Well, I do
just go like this.
In fact, actually, actually, I am going. I don't know if Tony Cole is watching tonight, but I'm going to be contacting him soon because I'm thinking about reissuing Hecla's Epiothia that I put out during the COVID times in 2020, but with his artwork. So I gotta get in contact with him during this vacation that I have next week.
Bobby, just email us at therapyoftheabsurd@gmail.com. I'll put it in the comments.
William wants red hair in your beard, Dan. What's your thoughts?
Oh, well, I'm not. I work in software, so like the whole Dimebag Daryl isn't going to work.
At the end of the day,
no, he says that red is awesome. Oh,
yeah, red locks in your beard. So like perhaps you could be like an Irish
part of
Viking.
me that looks Irish. Yeah. Oh, I'm not a Viking. I'm a Spaniard.
Well, Nick said you would look like a Viking.
He's a Spaniard Viking.
Yeah, I'm a Spaniard.
He's a Spaniard from Spain.
That's going to be really hard to justify when you say the beard is a cultural representation.
You know what's funny? By the way, I have a friend, Slim, that like he likes to tell me, "Hey, you should like dye your beard and your eyebrows black, so like people think you bleached your hair." And like that's hilarious for like 2 days, and then for like 3 months, you're like, "What the fuck did I do? Like, you wouldn't do that." And I'm like, "How much are you gonna pay me?" And he's like, "Yeah."
I also want to bring up an interesting but sad topic. Nothing to bring anything down too hard, but it is definitely sad. And unfortunately, we didn't have a podcast last week, so we weren't able to discuss it last week because new things happen every week, so you got to get to them when you can. But I did want to wish the family of Paul Mooney, yes, much love and respect because he died last week at 79.
Yes.
And rest his soul. Amazing comedian, or not even amazing, legendary comedian, excuse me. Actor, and he was also, a performer on the Chappelle Show and writer, as well as he wrote for Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and a bunch of other amazing individuals.
Yes.
So, what's something you guys have seen of Paul Mooney's that you really liked, whether it be Chappelle Show, stand up, anything?
Well, I mean, I didn't know for a while that he was co-writing some of Richard Pryor's material until
like
later on.
Majority
so
of what
course, I
changed
heard that first because, like I grew up when Beverly Hills Cop was coming out, so like I heard Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, like because my dad was like, whatever, we're listening to all of it, all the comedy, and I'm like, oh, is that good? I'm like 6, and he like, yeah, it's fine. like we're gonna listen to all of it.
Oh yeah.
And like so like I like George Carlin and just any of the comedians at the time that were somewhat raunchy I'd already heard by that age.
Oh no, yeah.
I hadn't heard Lenny Bruce yet, but his recordings are hard to find. So but that, and then when I heard him do the Chappelle Show stuff, of course, because I'm not like a guy that's like, running out there looking behind the scenes. And I think that he did that a lot more, right? So
yeah. He did a ton, but like, and then
but his personality, when I saw him like on Chappelle's Show, it was like hilarious to me. I was like, yeah, that's good. I think we like to watch people that are that confident in themselves. It's like, oh, dude, he found Zen. There we go.
Oh no, yeah. When you see his stand-up comedy, man, you have to be one of those people who understand you're there for a show. It's entertainment, and he's an entertainer. So you're there to be entertained. A lot of the audiences today a little too sensitive.
Well, I don't know though, because
his stand-up is brutal.
Yeah, but like,
I love it.
there's still comics out there for every audience.
No, of course.
It's just like there's so many of us now. Like if you go to like, you can go to a ton of shows and be still within a certain circle. And then you go to one show and you're like, whoa, I've never been to a show like this. And then you're like, oh, that's pretty neat. Let me see what happens around this corner. Okay, not that corner. I'm going to go this corner.
Oh, yeah.
There's only been not that corner like a couple times for me at open mics.
What's something that you've seen of Paul Mooney's, Victoria, that you either liked or shocked you or anything?
The funny thing is I'm with Dan and you, Stefan. I remember Paul on Dave Chappelle. It was really cool. But I did watch his stand-up videos. And I have never laughed so hard. Like, at not only just what he was saying, which is like you said, Stefan, it is blunt, it is brutal, it is racial, it is everything. It's, it is not politically correct in any way. But the tricky part about him is so smart, you can't deny it. I think a lot of people get mad and they want to say like, oh, cancel culture, ruin my joke. Nobody laughed because of cancel culture. It's like, no, nobody laughed because you also aren't funny. But if you are creative and funny, people will laugh before they realize, damn, that was fucked up. Like that. Is this a clean show?
No. This is a be yourself.
I wouldn't
show.
be involved in such filth.
Obviously, I'm not at Paul Mooney's level, but
this ain't Disney. This ain't Disney.
That's the thing about him was he was so poised in his delivery. He had a beautiful, rich voice. And he was so thoughtful, and he would say with that beautiful, strong, rich voice and that elegant dialect, some of the most vulgar stuff out of his mouth. He'd be talking about titties and all this other, like just raw. And it was unexpected. And then also it was factual and it was cleverly worded. And so before you can think you're dying laughing, and then you're like, oh my God, I'm going to hell. This is fucked up, but it's true. And I love comedians like that. And then I watched, like back in the day, like after the Richard Pryor show like went off the air, they had a roast of Richard Pryor. Ooh. And a lot of comedians, you know, like the greats from back then when they were just coming up, were coming up doing stand-up. And at the end, like, I think it was Richard that commented, or another comedian commented, like, yeah, Paul probably wrote all y'all's jokes. And he was just sitting there quietly, like, yeah, and I'm about to roast you too.
Facts.
So I really enjoy like a really intellectual, an intellectual person that gets down and dirty and is not scared to say the truth in a very eloquent and accurate and undeniable way. And that's who he is to me.
Yep.
And I think at 79, he for sure did what he came to do, at least. I don't know if he also came to like get Ralph's or whatever on the way home, but like the biggest thing he came to do, he did. And, you know, in a time when it was really inappropriate for Black people to not be grateful for whatever they get, he came out and was like, I'm going to be very defiant. And I loved it.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, man. Like, that's one of the things I loved about him, you know, because I saw some stand-up before the Chappelle show, and I was like, oh, I love this. And then he was on Chappelle's show, and I was like, oh, shit, I really love this guy. And then, you know, further and further, I kept seeing interviews and all this other stuff. Now I got to get his book because I saw an older interview about his book. What is it? Black is the New White or something, I think it's called. It has a crazy title. It's awesome, though. I love the way his mind works. It's genius. It really is. And that's one of those things, like even when they hit up Dave Chappelle, I don't know if it was TMZ or something, hit him up. I think he was in Ohio or somewhere. So one of the great, they, you know, approached him. One of the greats died. How do you feel? You know, and he's like, no, legendary. I was like, that's right. That's right. Get it straight. Get it straight. Legendary, not just a great. Okay. You know, it, like I watched an interview, I forget the name of the Comedy Hype News, I think it's called. And they talk about, you know, comedy stuff. And Pierre and a couple of the other people on there, they were even saying like if you heard Richard Pryor prior to, you know, what we know him as, he was nothing like what we know him as. And so him working with Paul Mooney created that not just persona, but the who we know today, you know. That's how much of an influence it was. And a lot of people don't realize like that's a deep cut, dude. You gotta go look into that, because it's you know, he brought him, like, Richard was already a great performer. No one's saying, you know, disputing that, but the writing just took it to a whole other level, like a whole other level. You know?
And that's beautiful when artists can collaborate, because there's so many comics that don't want to be stand-up comedians, or are not yet comfortable, or are just so connected that they're getting information and they're like, okay, this doesn't even work for me, but this is perfect for this person. And for someone to find like a companion that they are better together than either one could be separately, that's almost what life is about, you know?
Yeah. We have an amazing special guest with us tonight. She's not only a comedian, dare I say, a retired, awesome, amazing doctor, and a amazing person. With us tonight, we have Deborah Ashita. Hello. How you doing?
Oh, you're on mute.
There we go. My apologies.
I know you cancelled me out already before you brought me on. I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh yes. Thank you for joining us and everything. So since we were discussing Paul Mooney and the amazing comedy stylings that he has, I remember through a conversation that me and you had, what are your thoughts on clean versus blue comedy? I'm really dying to know.
Okay, I hate that word cancel culture, but I was thinking of this way before Chris Rock was talking about it. You know, people can do what they want and what they feel comfortable with, you know? I tell a lot of dick jokes, okay? But what I'm saying is I'm a doctor and I've seen a lot of dicks in my lifetime, so hey,
yes.
I think it's okay if people do clean comedy or blue comedy. I just don't like it when you get this very, very posh thing like, oh my dear, we do clean comedy. So that if you do anything that's blue, you're automatically put in the,
blue box.
The blue box. I'm not talking about filthy comedy. I mean, there's some things I think that we can agree on now. Maybe we can't. That I think are really verboten. Pedophilia is not one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. Incest is either not one of my favorites. Overt racism is not one of my favorites.
Oh my gosh, you do not want to go to Matt Gates' house.
I know there are some people that do it and kind of get it. And there was some guy I watched once, and he was talking about having a young girl in bed, and she was and it was really, or when people talk about eating ass, I can do without that. But I mean, I guess there's a place for it. I heard one comedian in the Comedy Store come up, and his whole thing was about that. I thought, is there anything else on the menu? Is what I'm So
I love that perspective, Deborah, because I think that in reality, the truth is, laugh or don't laugh. It's not going to be your cup of tea, but unless somebody actually is engaging in what they're talking about, we don't need to necessarily cancel, but that doesn't mean we're required to enjoy it or laugh at it. I've been in the same situation. I've been the unexpected Black person at the open mic listening to racist jokes, or a lot of like the only woman and listening to, pedophilia is really big, and a lot of all male mics. And at the end of the day, I just don't laugh. Like, I just give them my feedback, which is I really don't think it's funny, and that's all I can really do. But I think where cancel culture plays a good role is when there are situations where certain people are actually engaging in activity that they don't receive actual justice for. I think sometimes society steps up and goes, okay, well, if you didn't get, a consequence, then maybe the consequence is we're not going to be able to support you. And that's just that, because as a society, pedophilia is still not quite okay with us. So sorry. If you had just went to jail, we could have listened to the rest of your albums. Sorry.
But I love Lenny Bruce. And I saw a documentary, and it says, I'm not a comedian, I'm Lenny Bruce. And that was an amazing, if you ever get a chance to see it, it was amazing. It was a one-man thing. And, he went to jail for saying like motherfucker or cocksucker. And what was really funny was when he was, they were in the court, and and the judge said, well, what did Mr. Bruce say? And so every single person there, they had to say those words. He said, motherfucker. Well, he said it, but he was the one that was arrested. I don't get that,
That's so
sometimes I want to get up on stage and say, all the 7 bad ones, okay, that's my act. And just get off. But I mean, I would never do that.
Well, I love your edge, Deborah. Like, I've seen you on Friday Night Funnies. If anybody has not seen that on YouTube, check it out, or just go on YouTube and search Deborah Ishida. Like, she's got some hilarious jokes, and I love how you push the envelope and tell it like it is. And let's talk about, what's really going on. We're all adults here. This is not a kindergarten show.
Right.
So let's have fun. I agree.
Yeah, like I got a real serious question actually.
Okay.
like how many COVID no pants on Zoom jokes have you had to hear?
Oh my God, more than I really care to. Although, we have to say it has been COVID time and people have been in those situations and I know my daughter is a therapist, marriage family therapist with a specialty in sex addiction. I guess she took after her mother a little bit, but she's a stand-up comedian too, but she hasn't been able to do it because she's got a couple of kids and everything. But she was on Zoom one day in a therapy session and stood up and forgot that she had no pants on. And there she was in her therapy session with her underwear on.
That's funny.
But I think people, though, after a year in COVID, need to kind of, throw in maybe a little bit, but not, all this. Let's show that we got a little bit more between the earlobes and just COVID stuff, I think.
Yeah.
I did learn during all this, though, that during a work meeting, it's really hard to hide a kimono, even though they can't see below your waist.
You would be my favorite coworker if you wore a kimono at a Zoom meeting.
I'm used to kimonos. I'm Deborah Ishida. I'm the Jewish lady with a Japanese name.
Yes.
Goes together like a bowl of matzo ball soup and a side order of shrimp tempura. My husband was Japanese American. He was born in the camps in Crystal City, Texas.
Oh, wow.
And unfortunately, he died 25 years ago, very young, of cancer. He was unbelievable man.
My condolences.
I've got kimonos, and I've got in the background you can see calligraphy that was done by my father-in-law, who was an archbishop in the Nichiren Buddhist church. So I've got a lot, and I collect Japanese woodblock prints, and eat sushi too. Okay,
that's amazing.
Yeah, not just
Deborah.
California rolls.
That is so amazing, and I love how you incorporate, just how unique your life has been into your stand-up. When did you decide to take your life, which is so rich, and please share all of it, because I know you done dated all through the cultural spectrum and all of that. When did you decide to take it and bring it into stand-up comedy, and why?
You know what? When I really think about it, way back, my mother, who basically we butted heads with, I realized she was actually a comedian, really. She would just come up with the weirdest things, and my two sisters were deaf. And when they went back to school, they were supposed to bring back a poem. And she sent them back with slap it up and down, said the painter, stick it in and out, said the tailor. And this was many years ago. And she got a phone call from the tailmaster. Mrs. Rappaport, that's not what we meant. And don't send your kids like... And I thought, gee. And as time went on, I realized how she was. But I went into medicine because, that was, but she lived vicariously through me. And as time went on, actually, I did improv and I did acting. And then about 5 years ago, I took a stand-up course from a guy called Joe Falzaroni.
Okay.
And the first showcase we had was at the Hollywood Improv.
Ooh, very nice.
And I got on first. I mean, it's like deer in the headlight. But I loved it, and I said, this is fun. And so I continued. So that's, and I don't know, I just love it. I think that comedy, even if you're sad, and a lot of the comedians have been depressed and so on, even if you're sad, I think comedy is a great thing. You've got to laugh. I mean, what are you going to do? Sit there and drop dead or something? So I think comedy is very therapeutic, in my opinion. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So medicine, while you were doing medicine, because what I'm getting is like you were always a little bit of a creative spirit, and definitely, I don't know if you were a free spirit, but your stand-up is very free spirited. How did you manage without it for so long? Like, how did you manage?
Well, I didn't even realize, I guess, who I was. I was a doctor, married, mother of 2 children, getting up early in the morning, going in, doing my thing, seeing all the patients, taking care of them. That's what I did. And then some time ago, I said, it's all left brain. What about my right brain? I need to bring them together. So I started to take acting classes and improv and realized I really loved it. Kept on doing medicine, but worked it in. And now I'm retired. Hello!
And you can do it all. So you've done comedy on stage, you've done it on Zoom. Now that things are opening up, are you ready to get back out there? Like, what is your normal comedy practice? Do you do open mics?
Well, the past year, obviously, like everybody, I've been doing open mics and really enjoying them. Actually, I like open mics. A lot of people knock it and they say it's not really comedy. It's not really. Yes, it is. It's just different. And no, you don't have the response of the audience, and the response of the audience is magnificent. They kind of tell you, are you doing, good, or are you doing bad,
Very quickly.
Very quickly, yeah. But,
I think it's like the last 10 minutes of AA, except you can drink.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit of therapy, a little bit of alcohol.
Yeah.
It's cookie time at the end of the meeting.
But I have enjoyed going live. And on June the 5th, I'm going to be at the Comedy Chateau, which is opened up.
Oh, I saw that with Keith and Ed, right?
Keith, I love Keith and Ed. They are amazing. They do liar comedy, which is locked in a room, and liar comedy, and they've been amazing from day one when the COVID thing came out, and so I'm going to do it then. And hopefully more will open up. The only trouble is, though, with live is unless you're a really big name, you don't really get much opportunity to do the big places because, you got to audition, you got to go, you got to know somebody, etc. I don't know how you guys feel, but I wish they would even up the playing field a little bit,
Yeah.
Would be nice.
No, I hear you. It's it's crazy, Everybody I know on Clubhouse is fighting to get into the Laugh Factory.
They're fighting.
Oh yeah, there's some
like
comedy.
They're meeting in alleyways and in LA and like
yes, exactly like that. Exactly. But they have little contests on there, and then they end up in like a battle, a comedy battle, if you will. And I find all that stuff interesting. The whole battle thing. I'm kind of like I'm not against it, but I'm like 50-50 on it. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I really feel like the audience should be the one to tell you whether or not you're funny, at least in my opinion. But I'm not saying that it's not subjective and other people can't help you make it better. I'm not saying that, because there's always room to grow and get better.
Oh yeah. Well, personally, I'm pretty new to stand up. I actually started during the pandemic. Yeah, and I performed at the Comedy Chateau. That was literally my first time being on stage.
Nice.
It was scary, but fun. It was so much fun. But I took a lot of I'm a former accountant. That's why I asked you a lot of questions, Deborah, because you and I, kind of live the same path. I'm a creative, and I was told you are an accountant, and so I just started. But so I took business of comedy classes because, hey, and a lot of the information that I got was, in the nature of, look, do your mics, get good. Don't rush to get on such a big stage until you're ready. But when you're ready to get on a big stage, call the bookers directly. Like, don't be afraid to go out and put yourself out there on top of just waiting in line and hoping you get the lottery to go up and audition for 3 minutes. And, you know, my brother who works with musical artists, he's like, yeah, do contests, but only do very big contests where you can get a lot of exposure. And don't worry about getting into the big comedy clubs until you've built a fan base. So if you could throw your own events, invite your own people, at the point where you can get 50 people to come on a regular basis, if you go to any comedy club in LA and say, I can bring 50 people, nobody is going to stop you from getting on that stage, I guarantee. So that's my 2 cents from, you know, starting during pandemic. I was in the Comedy Chateau, and like, you know, and also there are like the Improv has a, the Improv Flappers, all of them have open mics on Zoom that provide an end. There's no lottery, and you get to get seen. And if you go every week and start getting to know the people that are running it, the booker of the Improv, I know for a fact, was in when I was in the open mic, listening to these people's 2-3 minute sets and giving feedback. So there's still like creative ways to get around it if you really want to get in. But personally, I feel like to avoid getting in a situation where they say, yeah, you can perform, but you have to sell this many tickets. Like, I already have it in place. Look, but also at the point where you can bring 50 people on your own, do you need to be on the Improv? Do you need to be at the Comedy Store? How much is the Comedy Store paying? How much would you get paid if you bring in your own people and they're coming back consistently and bringing friends? I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm an accountant, so I be counting money. Anyway.
Yeah, good point. And I'm proud of you. You've come an awful long way in the year.
Thank you, Deborah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
We also have another guest host with us tonight, Mr. Paul Buck Gittens. How you doing, Paul?
You know, you better call me Buck. You know, you better call me Buck. You know, that's my slave name. I can't be a part of that.
Deborah,
that's
this
my
is
dad's name.
Buck, but this is Deborah.
Hello, the beautiful Deborah. How are you?
I'm fine. And how are you, dear?
Sorry, I'm running late, guys. I just got out of the other show. I apologize. That show just got done. So I'm doing well, my dear. Been waiting to talk to you all night.
Thank you.
Oh. Should we leave these two? Right? Like, maybe we need to leave these two to handle the rest of this interview.
I'm in a private room.
We go into a breakout room. I'm winking, but it's actually my diabetes. So just
I do know for a fact that Deborah has mentioned that she does enjoy some milk chocolate every now and then. So
every now and again, it's my drug of choice.
Yes.
No, since I became a widow, I only ever dated black guys.
Yep. That's I'm telling you, Deborah, I love your stand-up. It's so funny.
Buck's like, huh?
I am the widow whisperer, so it's okay.
This is my better ear. You can whisper in this one.
Okay. Is that Victoria up there?
Oh, you already, like, I know you don't recognize because the hair is different every time, but just focus right here to here. That is still me in there, but that's me.
You look so beautiful. I was gonna wear my ponytail tonight, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't.
You know what? You rocking like almondy goodness, just shine and luxurious African skin is what you're rocking right now.
Thank you so much. It's a really great filter that I put on here, but thank you so much. Longbeard, what's going on over there? It's good to see you, my friend.
Oh, I'm just letting Bobby know real quick that we're not an open mic. I know I put us on a Facebook group, like shared the thing, and I was like, "Oh, hey, is this an open mic?" No, it's on StreamYard. We are live.
Oh, we are live. Oh, we're live.
Yeah, that's why the guy wanted the Zoom.
Totally. Well, I'm assuming that. I could be totally wrong. He's like, "No, I really want Zoom." But
this is what got taken out of this whole interview. I feel like we are interviewing wrong. Like, I want to be on the open mic next.
You said we're interviewing raw. It's comedy with no condoms. It's just raw. It's just raw.
No, you're good, Bobby. If you want to be a guest on the show, that's still fine. You're doing comedy, man. That's what this is about. We're trying to talk about comedy. So,
what did I miss? Deborah, tell me a little something that you told somebody earlier that's maybe a little naughty?
Well, I told them that I'm a doctor and I've seen a lot of dicks in my time. How about that? Is that okay? Does that qualify?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of dicks too, so I understand completely. Yeah, I get it. If nobody feels you, I feel you, because I have a whole portfolio of dick pics in my tablet just so people won't talk to me in the airport. That's what I use them for. Yeah.
I need to study. I need to learn. I feel like this is everything now.
No, it's very important. It's very important. You got to line your dick pics up by color and shade, and then when people come to talk to you in the airport, you flip open your tablet, and they go, "Oh my God, is that a dick?" And I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry, it's not mine. It's not mine. It's not mine."
You know, I gotta say that's a lot of effort to go through, because a guy that looks like me just has to have a portfolio of anime.
I have a feeling if I tell them, "Don't worry, it's not mine," they will definitely leave me alone. None of these are mine.
Oh my. So,
Stefan,
wow.
Deborah, what is it about the Chocolate Brothers that you like? I'm sorry, like it's so well. First of all,
tell us.
Deborah is Jewish, but her first husband was Japanese, which so amazing. And now she's on to, just by coincidence, black men. What is it?
I think isn't it the Jewish lady progression though?
Well, I don't know. You know, Jewish women and black men really have a kind of a connection, because black men like women with junk in the trunk. Hello, Jewish women usually have big asses. There we go. Oh, I'm qualified.
Problem solved.
Hava Nagila.
That is why I don't have any kids or anything, because I am flat as a pancake, and I grew up around nothing but black men, and they was like, "Keep on moving, little boy. We are looking for the sexy women."
But I like I dated a black guy when I was very young, and he had one of those cars. I think it was a Citroen, where they go up and down. You remember?
Oh, the lowrider, like a lowrider.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, lowrider, right? And he actually he was a prince in Ghana.
Okay.
And he wanted me to go back there, marry him and go back there. I was very, very young. I thought that I don't know, I didn't feel like I could do something like that. And so, I moved on, but way later I've gone back there. If somebody asked me to go to Ghana, hello, I'm right there,
In other words, what you gonna do?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, like I think I don't mind. Like Stefan, Dan, tell me, like, would you get with a prince and go back to Ghana? I know I would.
I've seen Coming to America 1 and 2, and yeah, sure, why not?
I would have some questions to ask.
Okay.
About the exclusivity of the club that I am joining.
What, you don't want no sister wives and husbands?
I don't know. See, like, here's the thing. See, I'm a dude. Like, if you have to hang out in the room with a bunch of other dudes for a while, eventually you'll be like, "Why do you always put your feet there?" So, like, I don't know if it's gonna work as well. Like,
it takes the pressure off of you. Like, if there's a rotation, that means it's not on you every night. So if I were you, I would want at least 30.
As long as I was the alpha. 30. As long as I was the alpha.
Okay, but what does the alpha duties entail? Please do.
Well, to the other fellas, I would just be like, well, when I walk in the room, everyone has to sit down when they pee. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have to be. Yes. Don't look at me. Sit down when you pee, and I get the first selection, and then
they get sloppy seconds.
And then you get to select who goes in. Right. All right, number 13, you go get it today.
13 and 15, you two together, we're doing these positions today, and only these positions today. 45, 45, you're cutting wood. 62, you're pruning the grapes. And somebody sit next to me on the couch or eating Funyuns. You know what I mean? Like, I need to have it
And number 3 is cleaning the latrines.
Number 3, while sitting down.
Yeah, while sitting down.
Yeah.
Okay, can I be like your sister's submissive wife, like second in command?
But I don't want to
act nice.
But I don't want a submissive wife.
Well, no, I'm gonna like he's the prince is the husband, but you're the alpha. But then line of the harem.
I
want to be number 2.
The dudes. I thought I was controlling the dudes and the ladies because I was pairing people up. I want to be in charge of all
See, I don't want to be a part of your African family because you be having orgy. I want to be a part of an African family where I only have to interact and sleep with my husband once every 6 months to 3 or 4 years.
You trying to do that? You trying to do that moon sex every 36 moons?
That is correct. Like I just want to sit and eat peaches and chill back and just be rich for no reason.
They don't do that in Ghana. You got to go to Zamunda or Wakanda or something for that.
That's right. You got it.
They gonna have me in Ghana working. Nah, I can't do that. Like I'm not made for it, and I don't got the booty. I'm not gonna get no prince.
You were all
Victoria, not married.
I am single, Deborah. I am 36 years old, single, no children.
What's wrong with the guys out there? You're gorgeous.
I told you,
half of them are gay.
I have no bootay, and I have a very this forehead represents like the level of head strongness I am. So
I don't believe that. I think we just need to do some rebranding. I mean, because you look really good, and you've got a great attitude, and and booty. Like, who wants to buy jeans for big old booties?
I agree. Like every guy that I have been with. Every guy that I have been with after the fact has admitted that there is something for small booty girls. Like they may not be the most beautiful thing to look at, but it does have its perks. And I would have to agree because I feel like this is the way God made me. Everybody can't be shaped like an hourglass. Some of us got to be shaped like a string bean.
Yeah.
String beans are sexy too. Like just
but you're gorgeous.
I'm shaped like the Michelin Man.
See, and I'm telling you, like my fetish used to be like, well, right now it's super old men, but like back in the day, super old,
and a dick like an overripe banana. Oh no!
You know what? It's the weirdest, freakiest fetish. I got the King Triton fetish because that was my generation.
The King Triton fetish.
Yeah, a really old man with white hair and like super buff and strong and
like date God. That was the idea. Like God used to, we used to think in the Jewish religion, God was an old guy with a white beard sitting on a throne. Maybe you want to. That's where you're going.
Yeah.
That is a fact. Like
elderly
I think that's
Jesus.
Truly,
elderly Jesus.
That's true. And then also, like, I'm super militant Black, and normally the men that I attract are white men. And so, like, my last boyfriend was like he was every kind of white, and he had red hair.
Was his name Milk? Was his name Milk?
No, his name was Steve. It was worse.
Oh, okay. Was his last name Milk?
Well, do you like white men, or are you just like a man that's attracted to you if you're attracted to him?
I like good men. I don't care what they look like, but I have to say, like, white men have gotten real suspect after the election. I'm like, 65% of y'all voted for Trump. I don't know if it's a Trump penis underneath there. Y'all playing games. The odds are too high. That is more than 50%. I am not.
If they pull their pants down and it's shaped like a T, you'll know.
So if you walk out to the Prius and you look under it, it's actually a lifted truck. Don't go.
Like I feel like low key, my ex voted for Trump. Like he claims he voted for Hillary, and that was the other thing. Like the last time we hooked up was like the night of the election.
Better.
Did he pull his pants down and it was red? You're like, oh wow, okay, I see a Republican. It's a Republican penis. Okay.
He was ex-military, so you kind of already right.
So it was red and it saluted you.
Well, I think right now, speaking of Trump penis and stuff like that, I think we need to. Deborah, you were a family practitioner?
Family practice doctor. We used to take care of soup to nuts, in other words. Everything that there was, we took care of, yeah.
And that is going to give us a game called Now I've Heard Everything, in which everyone around you has to think of something that you probably haven't heard someone say as a family practitioner? Nothing up the ass, that's very common, but something that no one has ever said. And go. And if you have heard it, that makes it even better. And you could tell us a story about it.
I'll tell you. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot that detail.
Do you want to start it off, Dan?
Sure. So how long does it take frozen butter to get out of someone's ear?
How long?
No, that's just the question.
I never heard that one.
No one came to the family practice. All right, cool. I got one. All right, now
I got one. Because I was like frozen butter. I was like, turn up. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm here for.
Turn that shit.
Bobby, you're my favorite. You're my favorite. I get lost in your beard all the time. Is this supposed to smell like this, and why is it green?
Ooh.
Well, actually, I got that. They bring in stool specimens, and they want to know why it smelled like that, why it was green, why it curved that way or the other. I've seen it. I've smelled it. And it was atrocious.
Oof.
Why was it green, and why does it curve like that?
Well, when you go, we don't want to do bathrooms, but I mean, when you go to the toilet, there are various different combinations, and your food, it's like, for example, if you eat beets, the first time I ate beets and I went to pee, I said, "Oh my God," and I'm a doctor, I must have colon cancer. It was
same thing.
Through, right?
Same thing. Had a beet shake, thought I was dying.
Yeah.
Thought I was dying.
So, different things give different colors to the what. Okay.
Got it.
Oh my God. Like when my dog ate all the Play-Doh. That was cool.
Just came out one color after that, huh?
No, well, it was cool because it came out looking like a little miniature Volkswagen bus.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That is awesome.
Had an artistic ass. Okay.
Literally, his artistic ass.
What does your dog do? His ass builds blocks. Like,
you'll love his blocks. They're amazing.
Come on, Stefan. I know you got something.
Dang, that's a good one, man. I'm trying. He said no ass, and I already had that was the first one that came to my head. I was like, "Fuck!"
The first one that comes to everyone's head. That's why I disqualified it immedially.
Well, no, because I've heard of true life stories of stuff like that. That's why.
Yeah,
kids are very brave and don't know. They don't know what their bodies can do.
That's the way you put it.
Dang,
Deborah, you're very beautiful, by the way.
Yes.
Well, how would you say that? Jesus.
Use your words.
I know, huh? Words. I don't even know how to. That's so weird. I guess have you had anybody come in and say my son swallowed 5 nickels? What do I do?
Actually, no, they didn't. They didn't say that to me because I didn't see a lot of pediatrics. I saw mainly adults.
Okay.
Okay. But if I would have heard it, I'd have said, just watch him, and if he doesn't develop abdominal pain or vomiting, you probably will collect the 25 cents when he goes to the bathroom.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
He's recycling glass. Just get the 25 cents. Go ahead.
This one is kind of lame, but have you ever had anybody ask about ingesting a tooth and retrieving that tooth for safekeeping?
No. And I'm not the tooth fairy. I never heard that.
All right, Dan.
So what's this I hear about cryogenically freezing my head until the future is better?
What do I think about it?
Yeah. Has anyone asked you, hey, can I cryogenically freeze my head?
No, no one's asked me that. And I'd say, if you just take the bloody head off the body, there's no way in hell you're going to be able to reconnect it to later.
You got to bring me back with a robot body. Like, yeah.
This is Futurama.
Yeah.
I've been watching, Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix. Good series.
Great show.
It's the second volume or the second season, right?
Yeah. So maybe that's what happened. It just.
Or have you had anybody come in and say, I don't know what's going on down there, but it burns when I pee?
Oh, of course. I mean, that's a common thing. A lot of people don't know what's going on down there. I mean, if they keep on sticking their dick in all sorts of people without any protection, they're going to get a sexual transmitted disease, and that's usually why.
It burns. Yeah.
Why it burns. Gonorrhea, chlamydia, trichomonas.
Oof.
Urine infection. If you, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, make sure you urinate after sex. That's something a lot of people don't know. You want to urinate after sex.
You don't want to learn that one the hard way.
Yes.
Do it.
Or you're going to be having some UTIs.
Stefan's like, I want to reinforce this.
97 to 2000.
It's probably less common for someone to say it burns when I think about peeing.
Oh, no.
Was this a psychologist? Like a psychologist office or something?
Like, I just think about it. No, I'm not going to the bathroom. That's going to hurt.
That's very Freudian. Burn. When I think it burns.
It's actually reminding me of the genius of the Beavis and Butthead episode where they forgot how to pee. It would, if you ever get to go back and look it up, it's the most genius one.
Mike Judge is a genius. That dude is a genius. That dude is a genius. Like the fact that they believed a hairy hobo was a werewolf, and that if he bit them with what little teeth he had, they too would turn into a werewolf. It's like, what? Are you on drugs?
I didn't get into Beavis and Butthead, but I was a very big cow and chicken fan, and I liked Dexter's Lab.
There you go.
Because I was always trying to figure out how the fuck who paid the light bill? Like, how did they get away with that?
They did have a lot of money. Dexter,
they had a lot going on.
Yeah,
they did.
Must have been. I feel like Dexter and Dee Dee's parents were like either like the Koch brothers or like super evil, like corporate people that never came home and raised their kids, and that's what Dexter was doing.
Yeah, facts.
Do you have a favorite? Deborah, do you have a favorite cartoon?
Deborah, do you have a favorite cartoon?
Oh, a favorite cartoon?
One or two.
Do you know?
Anything
I was never a big cartoon, but the Roadrunner was funny. I thought it was kind of funny, running away from everybody. That was a pretty,
And that damn coyote was dumb. It was just like, okay, your ass. He was so smart, he was dumb.
Well, the first rule that Chuck Jones made for the coyote, because he had rules on how to do how consistent they are, but the number one rule is the coyote is a fanatic, and the definition of fanatic used is that it's someone who doubles their efforts when they've lost memory of their aim or lost sight of their aim.
Oh,
so like the reason why he would try to nuke a bird in the idea I'm going to eat this after I just nuke this bird, and like, no, that wasn't going to happen.
See, this is hilarious because now that I'm listening to this, I hear about people being cranky about Pepe Le Pew getting canceled for being overly like rapey, and then you're like, yeah, Coyote was like, if you just completely lose all options of winning, just go extra crazy, and then you see the Capitol riots. And it's like, maybe there was a little bit of an influence. Isn't that kind of that generation all grown up? Y'all need to pay attention to what we're teaching our chitlins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
but chitlins are damaged.
There's the opposite side, though. There's the other rules. Like the Roadrunner never hurts the coyote. The coyote only gets hurt by his own measures. If you watch all the cartoons, they stuck to that. The
domestic violence.
Hurts it. But the Roadrunner never
passive aggressive.
The Roadrunner just sat there going, "Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself!"
Right, right. That's completely. He's not fighting me, girl. I just be walking into the punches and shit.
That's just walking into it.
Yeah, that's The Roadrunner was passively abusive to the coyote on purpose.
Yeah,
you had to have seen it. Come on, you've had to see it.
Well, maybe mentally manipulative.
Yes, true.
Yeah, like I feel like the subtle hints are better than because I watched Oliver and Company recently. Like the old, the cat gets caught up in it's a tale of Oliver, but basically the cat gets caught up in New York and a bunch of dogs, like this gang of thieves, teaches him how to be a thief. But like the basis of the story is there's a man that's a grifter that uses dogs to rob people and like scheme on people. He ends up kidnapping a little girl because he owes somebody money and they was trying to kill him. And they ended up killing the kid. Like, I was like, dang, this is.
But we're not talking about that. Movie. Yeah, but we're not talking about that. Yeah, we're not. But we're not talking about the specifics. We're not talking about the fact that Tom's owner in Tom and Jerry, she was a big black lady. And then all of a sudden she was a white lady with a black voice. We're not. Yes. Thomas.
Yes, and why did she have to be like that? That is, and that was the voice, right? Wasn't it like
she was very mammy? Yeah, she was very mammy.
She couldn't have been Thomas.
She was like Thomas. Thomas. Hey, auntie. Hey, baby. Thomas.
She was the Popeyes chicken lady. Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the Popeyes lady. She's just like, we's eating chicken. It's like, get your country ass out of here. It's 2021.
Yeah, what are you
2021, right?
What are you doing here?
Move to Indiana. They're free up there. Move to Indiana.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, Deborah. I'm sorry.
But I'll tell you what though, that blackened boneless chicken is fire.
At Popeyes?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I boycott Popeyes and also Church's Chicken.
You don't love that chicken.
I'm not religious, though. I don't go to Church's Chicken. No.
Church's Chicken is the only place for $2 you can get a 38 piece.
Like, and fried okra.
What does that tell you? There's no chicken, bro.
There's no chicken.
No chicken.
It's all dark meat.
And it's very meaty. When you get meat that's very meaty. Yeah, I think Deborah.
What's Deborah's favorite chicken
friend?
Well, I used to eat a lot of fried chicken when I used to go out with my boyfriends. My last boyfriend and I broke up a couple of years ago. But until then, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
You better know it, Deborah. You better know it.
There's one on Pico. And I went into one on Pico once, and Michael Jackson's father was there.
Oh, yeah. A lot of famous people eat there.
Beat him up, Joe. Beat him up,
Joe.
What? They didn't serve? What happened? They didn't serve?
I mean, he was sitting there, like,
Beat him up, Joe.
And they were going on and asking him. Eventually he got served, but I mean, he seemed to be a bit pissed off, that he didn't get his order phone. But yes, only go for the dark meat. Who needs the white meat?
That meat is racist. Yeah, you don't get the white meat. That shit is racist.
I went to Thanksgiving and the guy was this is true, and he was carving the turkey, and it was my friend's son, and he said to me, "What would you like, the white meat or the dark meat?" And my friend said, "Don't ask her, just give her the dark meat."
You're like, you know what I like.
Debbie, you are my favorite person. You're like, I don't want the white meat. Give me the dark meat.
It's a little dry.
Thomas, give me the dark meat. Thomas.
Oh, that's hilarious. You're right though, Deborah. I totally agree. The dark meat has all the flavor. Yeah. I don't do white meat.
Yeah,
like
anything that's fattier is gonna taste better. I mean, that's like, this meat is dry. Well, you know what? We can fix that. It's called gravy. Okay. You can put some gravy on it. It's gonna taste great.
So the food that you traditionally put gravy on is during the holidays is to make you forget that it's lunch meat.
That is correct. You
Facts.
want to taste.
My last Thanksgiving at my house, we had tri-tip.
Ooh, yeah.
Are you trying to get us to break in there? Because I'm gonna break in and get the tri-tip, son.
Debbie, you said you love tri-tip.
I love tri-tip. It's very easy. I'm a good cook, but it's very easy to cook tri-tip. You put your seasoning on, and I love Cajun seasoning.
Oh, hey, now we're best friends. Yes, please.
Tony Kacheri's the best. shove it on top, put it in a 400-degree oven for about an hour, and when you cut it against the grain, or else it becomes
a little rubbery, right?
Oh my God, it's fabulous.
I recently started making my steaks in my oilless fryer, my
the air fryer.
Oh, yeah, and it turned out so wonderful. 8 minutes, and it was perfect. Yes, in the air fryer. And I did the same thing. I cut it against the grain, and it was juicy and tender on the inside. It was wonderful. I've even baked macaroni in my air fryer.
I'm sorry.
I love that thing.
I don't have one of them. Maybe I should cook about it.
Yeah, you can get one, Deborah. I think they're you can get a decent one for $100? About $100.
Yeah. You find a good sale, you get one for about $60. $60. They're wonderful. They're wonderful.
Oh, yeah. You don't need no oil at all.
And you put it on and you leave it. You don't have to do anything else. It'll do it all by itself. It was like me in my 20s. I'd do it all by myself.
That's how I cook my gyoza, Deborah. When I get gyoza, I put the frozen. Oh yeah, you can put the frozen gyoza in the air fryer, no oil, and it'll make it crispy.
Wait, what temperature are you using?
What in the air fryer?
No, for the gyoza, because I have a little mini air fryer, and I also partake in the air fryer.
Don't do it any higher than 325. Don't do it any higher than 325 for gyoza.
Exactly what Buck said. Yeah, no higher. Yeah, and then you just put it in there for like maybe less than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm not sure exactly,
like
but 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 or a little over, and you're good to go. And it's fine. It's not greasy, right? Which I have cholesterol problems, so I have to cut out the fat. I have to cut out the fat.
I lived in Tokyo. I lived in Japan for almost 10 years. And I did. I lived in Yokosuka for
so you speak Japanese then?
Skosh. Very little bit. Very little. Skoshi. Chibi. Yeah, I see just a little bit. But I lived by the big Navy base, so there was a lot of expats and stuff around there, but my Japanese is shit. I mean, it was decent. I just moved back maybe a year ago. It was decent. Like I knew when I was actually engrossed in what I was doing, I could get by, but I still needed a friend when I needed to go to like immigrations or something completely, finding an apartment. It was a nightmare. But other than that, I loved it. And the reason why I brought it up is because there's this really great barbecue spot in Yokohama that gives just really big. Why do I still have a microphone? Because I was on that show earlier. Let me put that up.
That's all right. Like it just takes dominance. You said you're the alpha.
Your microphone
and the alpha
working.
Hey guys, it's okay.
By the way, just real quick, I need to tell our audience, if you're getting an air fryer online, make sure you're getting the appliance and not the movie about the monk that can dunk.
Anyway, facts. And this is an endorsement for my air fryer. It's called Buck's Air Fryer. Sex with myself, sticky fingers. So
slide that right on in there.
Yeah. Message. No. But so they had the gyoza. You could buy you'd buy Midtown Barbecue in Yokohama. You'd buy the gyoza, and they were literally this big.
Wow.
They were massive.
So they were like massive. A giant egg roll kind of.
Oh my God, they were massive. They were massive. And they were probably about $10, about 1,000 yen. And they were just I mean, you'd roll over in the train and you'd just pass out with the rest of the Japanese that were drunk at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. It was wonderful.
Oh,
it's unusual because Japanese stuff usually is smaller.
Well, it was an American company.
Oh,
it was an American company, but the Japanese were so that they would come because you could get barbecue there as well, and their spin on Japanese food, they just ate it up. However, my favorite thing, my absolute two favorite cuisines in shabu shabu, which I love very much. I love shabu shabu, and I absolutely love tonkatsu ramen. I love it with big fatty pieces of pork. Like my cholesterol moving out of Japan. They're like, didn't you eat healthy? Not at all. Everything was soaked and dripped in something, and it was wonderful except for breakfast. I'd have soup and a piece of fish or whatever. But I enjoyed. Did you ever live there, Deborah?
No, I never lived in Japan. And my husband, who was born in the camps in Crystal City, never went to Japan.
Wow.
Never got to Japan. We went all over. I mean, we went lots of times to Hawaii and here and there and Europe. Never went to Japan, but after he died, I went to Japan and I went to the shrines and I prayed for him.
Oh, that's sweet.
In the shrines, you know.
Yeah.
Which,
so I like Japan. I thought Japan, when they bowed to you as you go into the department store, you know, I mean, so polite. Here in America, you're going in through the door and they bang it right in your face.
Yes,
but you know, can I tell you guys some traumatizing one traumatizing Japanese story?
Yeah,
Yakuza got you? Yakuza got you, bro?
No. And I had a couple friends that were Yakuza. Okay. They were very, very cool. You stay out of their business. They stay out of yours. Yep. You go to the izakaya. You drink. You don't get involved in their business. They won't get involved in yours. Yep. They're very, you know, Japan is very safe. The crime is organized. You know, I like that. The crime is organized. Like you can, for women, like you can stumble out into the street at 4:00 in the morning and you're fine. Now you gonna get molested on the train. That's gonna happen. You gonna get everybody gets molested. I was felt up 3 times on the train because I kept going back because I just wanted to make sure that they were feeling me out. I went back on the
okay, you just had to be sure. Had to be sure.
I had to try it 6 times to make sure that you know it was a mistake. It's something you got to do. I mean, because the trains are so ridiculously crowded during rush hour. But my creepy story is me and my best friend Chris were coming back from Harajuku. You know, where the Harajuku girl, it's on the other side of like Amontosando and Shibuya and a Yoyogi Park or whatever. So we're taking the express train back on the Odaki line, and it's last train. So in Japan, the very last train in the Yamanote will stop around like 1:30, and then the rest of the trains they'll stop at like 12. So if you don't get back, like if you're going from where I lived, it was only about 35 miles, but it was about an hour on the train. If I didn't hit Yokohama by 11:30, the train would just stop like 10 stops from my apartment or from my stop. So you had to hustle up, or you were out all night till first train started running at 4:45. Which if you were in Shibuya or Tokyo, it was fine because the clubs, you'd get there Friday and leave Sunday. Like the clubs were up. It was ridiculous. So we were running back. We got on the last train. We're heading back. And there was this, these girls, they're called, not the Harajuku girls. They're called, Garu. They're called Garu. Right. And they've got like the blondish hair and the dark tan, and you know they wear the designer bags, and they're like it girls, right? They're like it girls, and you can't talk to them unless you can buy them a Gucci purse. And this really beautiful Garu girl came on the train, and she was fucked up. She was drunk, and she fell asleep on my friend Chris. Like she was just, and that's the thing in Japan on the train. When people sleep, the Japanese have perfected. Will fall asleep on the train, and 1 second before they're stopped, they'll just be like, boop, and then they'll get off the train. It's magic. It's fucking magic. So she passes out on my friend Chris, and this old man with these big glasses and this briefcase get on the train. There's only 4 of us in that car. And he looks at her, he looks at Chris, she peeks up like this. He starts pounding his putt underneath his briefcase. Then he moves, he sits on the other side of her. I'm sitting across. He's pounding his putt, and she's freaked out, and she's like, she's drunk as a skunk, and she looks at Chris, she looks at him, she leans over on Chris like this, and then the guy finishes his business, grabs his briefcase, and throws the hanky on her and gets out of the train.
That's disgusting.
This was a true story.
Is this Silence of the Lambs, yo?
It was Silence of the Pickled Japanese Meat. It was crazy.
I cannot believe he could.
It was crazy. It was
so comfortable doing that in front of all of y'all.
Now this was in like 2009. After, well, not because of that situation, but after that, they had pink cars that during rush hour, they are for ladies only.
Thank goodness.
Ladies only.
Thank goodness.
Wow. It's crazy. It's crazy because it's fuckery. When I tell you they pack those trains, it is literally fuckery. It's like, wow, is there a knee in my spleen? Like I need you to, like, there's no room. Like you're literally like this.
So I think that was the big motivation for them to stop fucking so much, which is why the population's dropping like crazy. Just like here in America, which is actually probably good. We need more.
It's enough. Like we already are expiring the earth.
Well, you know, in Japan, there is 65% of the country is over 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's over 60.
Deborah.
And they're active.
It's
they're
the
active.
Miami of the East.
Yeah.
All right. Deborah might need to plan another trip. Have a little.
Yeah, but there's no black guy, not many black guys in Japan, so I'm not going.
That is not true. That is not true.
I almost left and went to Japan with all of the racial stuff. That was one of the places I was looking at. Like there were all videos about black in Japan. Like
there is. It's a whole culture.
Yeah.
But with that would be another show. And with that said, everybody, starting with Deborah, where can people see you next?
What do you got coming up next, and where can they find you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where are you going to sit? I'm going to be at the Comedy Chateau on June 5th,
at
9 p.m. with Ed and Keith Liar Comedy. It's our 1-year anniversary thing. And then I'm on Zoom until somebody plucks me up. You see, what I need now is a chauffeur to come to the door, pick me up, put me in it, take me there, bring me back. Actually, I could call Uber, same thing. I don't like driving right now. It's too dark, and I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old, but I don't like to say it. Shh.
Debbie, I'll come and pluck you up and put you in my car and drive you where you need to go.
Oh, okay, darling.
I love this.
It's a good thing you don't have a trench coat and a fedora, because that sounds different.
Oh man!
All right, and then
Victoria, do you have any shows coming up or anything?
I'm just supporting my friends. I have a show coming up in June. It's live, but I don't have the details yet. But will be supporting all my lovely friends that are starting to perform out now, doing live comedy, and I'm really excited about it. And I'll be writing. So
good.
All right, Stefan.
Let's see here. I will be performing on a hybrid thing. I asked if it was an open mic or a show. It's a little bit of both is what I was answered with. So that's okay. That's okay. Don't know exactly what that means. But that's going to be on this Saturday, at the NoHo Fourth Wall in North Hollywood, California.
Hell yeah.
And then the day after, I will be doing Crazy Woke Asians Comedy Festival at the Santa Monica Playhouse.
Good luck to that. That sounds like that's going to be an awesome show.
And you know who's performing an hour after me?
I'm going to Nick's.
Shang.
Be back later.
No kidding.
Oh, I love Shane.
Yeah,
Shane gets down and dirty, and I love every minute of it. I love every minute. Yeah. And then what is it? June 4th, I'll be doing the Comedy Chateau the day before Deborah's. I'm gonna see if I can come and see you perform, and Keith and everybody too. The day after, I'm gonna try. Damn it, I want to go. I need to get out of the house. But so that's June 4th, Comedy Chateau, and then June 12th, I'll be on the Laugh Riot Girl Comedy Festival, and that festival is June 7th through June 14th, and I'll be performing on the 12th. And then there's some other stuff coming up, but I can't really discuss that yet because I'm still,
busy.
Yes,
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Good.
Saturday we'll do an experiment because I have 7 minutes that's ready, and it's a 15-minute spot. So I got 8 more minutes or 7 more minutes.
Long breaks and pauses.
You got it.
Oh no, I got some improv too. I'm going to talk about how what happened when I met Mr. T for the first time.
I love that bit.
Oh yeah, and then my great grandma, the one I told you about that one, and my racist white grandpa, or just racist grandpa. It doesn't matter. He's just racist. And some other stuff, and just see what happens. It gets a laugh, doesn't get a laugh. I get booed. People throw stuff. Just make sure if it's an apple that it's clean because I want to eat it. Okay, that's all.
And Buck, where can people see you coming up?
Well, of course they can see me on Insta. They can see me every week on .fam and friends. Okay, and my own brand once a month. Funny Fridays. We are still in the process of doing the all ladies show at the end of the month. There is a big June 14th on my birthday. There's a big birthday show in Columbia. I have 2 other projects that are coming that I cannot talk about right at this juncture. I'll be at the North Carolina Comedy Festival in September. And then there'll be just follow me on Bucks Comedy on Instagram, and I can give you guys the rest of the stuff. Because there's some things coming that I can't talk about, but of course, whatever I'm involved in, everybody will be richer for the experience because I like to bring my friends along for the ride as well.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, I feel like I was on one thing, not comedy. Well, it turned out to be comedy. I don't think it was supposed to, but I was on a TV show, and I can't tell you what it is because when it airs, I'll be able to tell you and let you know when it shows. Okay. My God, I don't think it was supposed to be comedy, but I was so friggin' awful that I turned it into comedy. I mean, they were laughing their asses off, but I don't think that was supposed to be the venue. But anyway, when it comes up, the episode, I'll let everybody know.
Oh, yes,
awesome, Deborah. Yeah. That's awesome.
What about you, Dan?
I don't have any shows coming up. I'm actually in the middle of trying to figure out if I can do impressions in my act without sounding hack. So it's a little difficult right now. I'm trying out things at open mics because there's people that like it, but it's also like, I don't want to just go up there and go, now what if Seinfeld, went into the barbershop? What's with all the hair on the floor? Like, I'm not going to do shit like that. So
that would be funny though.
Trying to figure out. I do think that that you guys give me an idea later, because I think that there's a certain voice that has never been played gay, and it would be something like, well, I'm really into the dick. Like, I like to go up and down like a slip slide all day long.
Like a minor.
I've never heard an old prospector gay. That would be hilarious to me. Like, it's like my mind shaft is completely blown out like the spokes on a BMX.
I think they all live in Nova Scotia, but I love the act. I love the impression.
I do too.
I love it. I love it, Dan. I love it. You can try some of your stuff at one of my open mics.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I will look that up.
Buck has amazing mics. They're so much fun.
Yeah, and I'd love to go to a lot more, but I also have one of those jobs that since the reopening has become very demanding. Yes. I do work in software, so they're like, hey, let's start putting out stuff again.
Gotcha.
So we want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We had a lot of fun, and thank you, Deborah, Victoria, and Buck for coming.
I love you, Deborah.
We'll see everybody again on June the 10th. Is that right, Dan? June 10th?
I think it's like that. And then, of course, shout out to Nick, and of course, his daughter, Haley, who's graduating.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
During the pandemic. Yeah. And then, oh, gosh, I can't find the date while I'm talking. Yes, the 10th. And then William Davis came back. He hasn't been able to watch for a while, so it's cool that he showed back up. Thanks, Bobby. Bosca and Lauren and all the others. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for being here.
It was wonderful.
Thanks.
Yes,
I love meeting all of you guys. You're all my family.